On today's Saturday news, a WWE star has a very serious injury.
Got a big change to a WWE title match.
Drew McIntyre's massive Clash at the Castle 2024 match has been revealed.
And an update on Eddie Kingston's injury. Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? My name is No Beard Phil Chambers, and this is Gareth Morgan, here to talk all about wrestling on this fine Saturday. What have we got up first?
I'm dying. Don't want to talk about anything other than your face right now, Phil. It's just the shock on my face this morning, people, when I saw this man.
Should have seen his face when we turned on the little Google Meet call.
And
it was just like, hi, what?
The words that came out of my mouth are not suitable for YouTube, let's just say that. Madness. But yes, we will be professional. We will bring our attention back to wrestling if we can. But a WWE wrestler, has taken to Twitter/X to let the world know that they are actually dealing with a very serious injury right now. So we'll just shift the tone a little bit. It's a very serious injury. There's been a lot of reports going around, like over the last couple of days, about this particular injury. We're talking about Ivar of the Viking Raiders, and he was written off television on NXT, and that was in an attack. He got attacked by Gallus, and I believe Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, he mentioned that this whole thing was, from what he'd been told, the way he understood it, was done as a way of writing him off television because he was allergic to news. No, it was writing him off television because he just worked really hard and battered his body, just wanted a bit of time off. That's the way Meltzer had kind of interpreted all this news. But then Fightful Select popped up. They had a different report, and they said, no, this isn't actually a work. Like, it's not really. Like, they don't know the extent of the injury, but it's not a work. It's not true. And they also said that they were told that Ivar has long wrestled as if he's on borrowed time after his double fusion surgery, and that surgery went down, I believe it was in 2020, around then, so it's been a couple of years, and that's quite alarming in itself if that's what has been going down. But then the star himself took to social media and said that yes, he did confirm that he is indeed injured, and it is very serious. He's taken a bit of time to figure out what his options are right now, doesn't know what the future's going to hold for him. I also took a bit of time just to thank everybody for being really lovely and sending loads of love and support before and after the injury, because he's been getting a lot of love. He's been getting a lot of TV time on Raw, NXT. He's been doing some great stuff. I've loved the chaos that he's been throwing into the world over the last couple of months. So it's great that he has seen that, and keep that coming, keep it all coming. And he also said within this, he had a couple of posts on X. He said that he will be working his ass off pretty much to try and get himself back inside that ring if he can, and in front of fans again, because that's what he loves to do. So we're all wishing him all the best and wishing him a speedy recovery, but most importantly, it's just wishing him health, wishing that he's okay and looking after himself, because that's the most important thing. Wrestling's great, but it's the people themselves. It's just make sure they're all fit and healthy and can just have a good quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely. It sucks, this one. Like, first Eric and his injury, and then this as well. We worked with the Viking Raiders, or War Machine as they were back then, in WCPW quite a lot. We had them over quite a lot of times. Some really, really fun matches from them. But they're both also just really, really nice guys as well. They're really good dudes. So absolutely wish them the best for getting back to the ring. But they are as tough as they are lovely guys as well. So I have no doubt that they will, both of them, will be working their asses off to be able to get back. But especially for Ivar, it's I'm really glad that when sort of Eric went out, that they didn't just go, oh, well, let's forget about Ivar as well, which happens quite a lot when you're sort of so entrenched in a tag team kind of environment. But they sort of gave Ivar the chance to shine on his own. And he definitely shone. He's incredible in ring. This kind of stuff he can pull off is absolutely ludicrous with the size of the guy, and so much fun. So yeah, just absolutely wish him the best in his recovery. Hopefully it all goes very well and we can see him back in the ring as soon as possible. But yeah, get well first soon. But moving over, the WWE title situation on SmackDown. Now, it was kind of strange when it was first announced on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. It was Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, obviously, and it's going to go down at King of the Ring. But there was some kind of confusion or something around whether it was going to be both the belts on the line or just the WWE title match. But it's been confirmed on SmackDown last night. They had a contract signing. Nick Aldis was out there, and Logan Paul had kind of pulled a switcheroo on Cody Rhodes. He had made his own contract with his own lawyer that did not put the US title on the line. It was only for the WWE title match, and then he kind of baited Cody into signing it. Cody Rhodes kind of got mad. He kind of defended Nick Aldis a bit, who was also mad at Logan Paul. Everyone's mad at Logan Paul, basically. But then he eventually broke down into a big brawl, and Cody Rhodes chucked Logan Paul out the ring and threw one of his buddies through a table, or the broccoli head guy, as it was said on commentary by Wade Barrett. I was like, okay, whatever, you do you. But it is going down at King of the Ring. It is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, but it's just for the WWE title match, so I wonder who's going to win that.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun, though. I think that's going to be a really fun match.
Oh yeah, I think the dynamics are just the potential's there is good for something silly, genuinely quite impressive, because Logan Paul is pretty damn good in between the ropes, and Cody's a master as well. It's just, I like it. I like this kind of stuff. For me, it feels like it's going to be a more athletic and jaw-dropping version of what we had with Dominic and Cody. Do you know what I mean? Just somebody that everyone absolutely despises, and then the beloved Cody. It's going to be good stuff. I'm excited for it. But it does very much feel like that we were having a bit of a chat before we came on, and just saying, like, WWE, I think, have booked this and then not intended that to ever be a thing in the first place, though. Like Grand Slam, Cody could go for the US title as well, and then now they're going, if we do that, it's another complication, really, because then we've got Cody with 2 belts, and it's probably just going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to book, and then not having Logan with that belt is just, I don't know, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, you having such a big, like, crossover star holding that title is really good for WWE's image right now. It just didn't feel like it was going to work. So this is maybe the best of both worlds, and I'm fine. Sometimes predictable's fine, absolutely fine. I'll still get excited, and I'll probably still get fooled at some point in the match and think, oh my god, is he actually going to do it? Is Logan going to beat Cody? Oh my goodness. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. Speaking of things I am very excited for, obviously, it's Clash at the Castle, which is going to be coming up very, very soon. It's going down in Scotland. And obviously Drew McIntyre's from Scotland, so he's going to have a big match, obviously.
I thought Drew McIntyre was from Wales. Didn't they say that last time?
Sure they did. Yeah, they went.
His home country, Wales. Stupid Michael Cole.
Stupid WWE. But something that might not be so stupid is they're going to have a big match with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, apparently, for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is according to Dave Meltzer in his latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He said that right now it looks like that's what's going to happen. That's expected. That's going to be the match that Damian Priest was alluding to, I believe, on Raw, when he was like, I'll give you a shot when you're cleared. So that is probably when that's going to go down now. Meltzer himself actually said that he thinks one or two things is probably going to happen. He thinks that you're either going to have Drew win the world title in front of his home crowd, and the crowd goes wild, lovely moment, all that stuff, or CM Punk will screw him again, and it'll just be something else to add to that feud, and I kind of like that myself personally, whereas Meltzer would like Drew to win the world title because he believes the storylines are a bit stronger with Drew as world champion, like with Punk, with Rollins, even with Priest himself, whereas he feels like, and it was a bit of shade, I'll admit, in the Observer, it was a bit of shade. He said the one, if Priest was still holding the title, the storylines with Punk and Rollins, people like that, just aren't as strong. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not, we don't know, we've not seen them yet, but I would be very much excited to see Drew holding that title and just being an absolute a-hole for a couple of months and being like, I told you, I'm the best. I'd love that. I'd love it. It'd be great. But right now, that's looking like the big match for Drew. I think a lot of people were maybe thinking, could they actually have the Punk match if Punk is healed up? Could that be the match in Scotland? But I don't know, drag it out as long as you can. Is Clash at the Castle before SummerSlam? Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, drag it out. Just have him win the world title there, and then you did the Punk thing at SummerSlam, and then that'd be good stuff. I'd be excited for that. And Drew getting his moment in Scotland would be lovely as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm personally on the one of, I think doing the Damian Priest match in Clash of the Castle is really good because you get the moment of Drew lifting the belt, and that would be really good. I mean, Punk screwing him over in Scotland would be hilarious. But I think I mainly want this because I'm desperate for the sort of redo of the Summer of Punk, but it's kind of flipped with Drew McIntyre instead of John Cena. And then you get to the SummerSlam match and it's Punk versus Drew McIntyre. And even then, if like Drew McIntyre could win that somehow and then do the sort of kiss goodbye thing and mock Punk for basically go through the steps of the Summer of Punk, but do it as Drew McIntyre going, ha, I beat you, and then repeat it at that sort of the next pay-per-view or anything like that. I think there's a lot of story you can tell with Punk and Drew McIntyre, especially with how on fire both of them are, especially Drew McIntyre. He's at the top of his career in terms of banter. So I am very much looking forward to this, and I think it's a decent run for Damian Priest, but it feels like it's just bigger things needing the belt, probably getting in the way maybe of a Damian Priest long run.
Yeah, it was always going to be that way with this. The longer you held that briefcase, it was like, other things are getting more interesting now. So when you do finally do this, I think they handled it well at WrestleMania, like it was a hell of a cash in.
Yeah, definitely.
But afterwards, it's a bit like, I don't know. He's having a go. He's not doing terribly. He's putting in a good shift. But it's just like, there are other things that I'd like to see that belt on. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's just there's other things that have eclipsed him, like in the rankings, let's say, right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm very looking forward to seeing what they do with Drew in Scotland. It's going to be a hell of a moment in that building. But moving over, finally, over to AEW this time and kind of bookending this video with some sad news about injuries. This one is Eddie Kingston. It's coming from the Observer newsletter. Now, it's not confirmed, this, at all, but Meltzer said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that it was being talked about backstage at AEW Dynamite that Eddie Kingston had suffered a broken leg. Now, like I say, it's not confirmed that that's the exact injury, but that's the way the sort of conversation was going surrounding it. And that obviously led to the big changes in the Anarchy at the Arena match that's going down at Double or Nothing. Now, he suffered the injury in a match against Gabriel Kidd in New Japan. They were having a no ropes falls count anywhere match, and Gabe Kidd went to do a suplex off the ring apron through a table to the outside, but the table was kind of split between the ring apron and the ring barrier, and as they went through the table, Eddie Kingston's leg just smashed against the ring barrier. And if you watch the footage back, just the sort of speed with which the legs snap on the ring barrier, it definitely looks like it could be a broken leg, and he immediately goes to hold his leg straight away afterwards. No, this sucks, obviously. He's taken out of the match at Double or Nothing. But just for Eddie Kingston in general, it's obviously the health comes first with all of these things, and we wish him a speedy recovery with what he's up to. He's posting pictures of his leg on Instagram and social media and things like that. So he's obviously in okay spirits with it all. But yeah, we want him back in the ring, sort of kicking ass where he belongs in AEW as fast as possible. And yeah, it's just one of those sort of freak unfortunate injuries that just takes someone out for quite a long time.
Yeah, I watched the clip back this morning, and it's one of those where it's the speed of it all. Like, it's not necessarily like we've seen a lot more horrific, let's say, looking moments in wrestling, but it's just the speed of it and the initial impact. It's just like,
bounce off the
it hits you right in the gut, and it's wishing him the best. Obviously, like Eddie, seeing Eddie back in the Anarchy in the Arena thing, it would have been incredible. Setting fire to people, it would have been great. But he's, I don't know. Fingers crossed he gets well very soon, because I don't know, I need Eddie Kingston on my weekly television. I miss him when he's not there.
Absolutely. But that is it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want, you can follow us over on Twitter. You can follow me at FillMyChambers, and you can follow Gareth
at GMorgan04.
Ups and downs for WWE SmackDown is coming up later on today, so keep an eye out for that. But most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.
Look at his face! Look at it!
It has a chin.
Look at his face! Let's keep that in our video. He's got a chin. Look at him. Madness.